Shalom. It's Jeremiah Call. Before we start off, I want to give all the praises to the Father and the Son. Barak Tah Yahweh, Barak Tah Yahushua, Barak Tah Yahweh, Barak Tah Yahushua, Barak Tah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Yahweh is a true name of the person the people call God, and Yahushua is a true name of the person the people call Jesus. Now today we're going to be getting into part 2 of the Ezekiel 1 breakdown. We're going to hit verse 11 through 20. Verse 11. Thus their faces and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. Now he said it says they went upward. So it's Ezekiel is looking at the chariots flying high, very high in the sky. And, he is describing how, the chariot comes together. Like similar to, this right here. Verse 12. And they went everyone straight forward whither the Spirit was to go. They went and they turned not when they went. The chariots don't have to turn in any given direction, to move. The law of physics, doesn't apply to them because, they are heavenly vehicles. Just like an earthly vehicle, has to apply to those laws like plane, cars, things of that nature. But, the chariots, they don't have to follow the laws of physics. And that's why they can fly 1,000 miles per hour this way. Then without having to turn, fly 1,000 miles per hour the next way. Those chariots can't be touched by these heathens, man. Verse 13. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. This is talking about how the chariots can shift from metallic form, looking like that beryllium color, and switch to that orb form. Or how they can switch from the orb form to the metallic form. I'm finna bring out to what I mean by orb. By orb, I mean, something like that. See if I can find a better picture. Something like that, orbs. Verse 14. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. The chariots can look like they're disappearing, and they can move faster than the speed of light and are being controlled by the living creatures, which are the angels. Verse 15. Now I beheld the living creatures. Behold, one wheel is upon the earth by the living creatures which hit with his four faces. You know, it's talking Ezekiel is looking at the living creatures, meaning, the angels on the earth coming out of the chariots. And he is near them. And if we go back to verse 7 earlier, that's where you get that look at their feet, their legs, that help them to land. So, for them to park on the earth, they use those legs, those great feet that we was reading about back in verse 7. So I'm gonna just repeat verse 15. Ezekiel is looking at the living creatures, meaning the angels on the earth coming out of the chariots, and he is near them. And these angels are royalty. They have a lot of power and authority, and are very dangerous at the same time if Yahweh Shem Yahushua isn't dealing with you. Now, verse 16. The appearance of the wheels and their work was likened unto the color of beryl. And they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. And, their work is describing, their details, their color. And, we finna bring out that color. Beryllium. You see? It's a metallic light color, and beryllium is also an element. So again, their work is describing their details like this beryllium metallic color. Beryllium is the name of this element, and the color of this element has metallically silver-like color like that. And also, all the chariots look alike, they are identical. So, he is looking at a chariot that is the same color as beryllium, and all these chariots that he are looking at look identical to one another. And these angels are piloting, driving around those chariots that Yahweh Shah, gave to them. Because, not only, did the Lord create all the creation we see, like the birds, the animals, the plants, things of that nature, but he also, created the angels and, their beryllium color like chariots. Now let's get into verse 18. Well, 17. It's lucky. It says, when they went upon their four sides, and they returned not when they went. So again, the chariots can move in any given direction without having to turn. They can move in any direction at any given time they want, as fast as they want, without having to turn. See, manly crafts, have to turn, but these chariots of Yahweh Shah, they don't have to turn in order to, fly in any given direction. Because think about it, it's also, circle like, a wheel within a wheel. Verse 18. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. So, the rings are talking about the outer edges of the chariot the chariot that he was looking at was very high in the sky. And the four represents a complete circle. And just like how he brought out, that picture of that circle, like this. And the eyes that we are talking about, Slakia, that we are reading about in verse 18. And you're not talking about the outer edges of the chariot. It's talking about this. Doesn't it look like or resemble, eyes to you? And the great prophet Ezekiel, is having a very detailed, vision of the chariots in Ezekiel chapter 1, man. Those eyes are on the outer edges of the chariot, like we are looking at right now. And also, the eyes are the lights, as we are seeing. Now, verse 19. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. So this is meaning that the angels, which are the living creatures, are piloting, flying the chariots that Yahweh Shai, gave them with. Because we know that Yahweh, Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shai, created these chariots. Shalom. We got cut off, but we back. But let's go back to 19. It says, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up too. So, and it's saying the angels are piloting, flying the chariots that Yahweh Shimi Hawashai, that gave them. And we know that the Lord created these chariots and put the details in them, allowing them to have allowing them to have an orb form, but also a metallic form. That metallic form is that beryllium look. And it's different, it's a lot of different, types of chariots out there. And verse 20. Wheresoever their spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. So wherever the angels want to go, they are the ones controlling these chariots, they can go. That's why you see these chariots going to and fro throughout the earth, because they are going where they want to go. That's why you're seeing these chariots hovering over nuclear sites and things of that nature. That's why you see these chariots hovering over the ongoing battle that's happening in Ukraine, which is World War III. Well, and which kicked off World War III. So these angels are driving these chariots to and fro throughout the earth. So with that, hope this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shimi Hawashah. All praise to Yahweh Shimi Hawashah. And tune in for part 3 soon. Shalom.